Guys, what's going on? It's Simon Lazarus, Head of PR and Content for Current Hunter. It's Watches and Wonders, it's press days, it can only mean one thing. Another big interview, and I'm joined here by the legend himself, the CEO of Czapek, Monsieur Xavier de Roquemaurel. Xavier, enchanté, my new horological friend. How are you doing again?
Good, excellent.
We had an interview, this is the second time we've had an interview, because 3 months ago we had a very long chat. I know you have a very important keynote speech to go to. Time is precious, so I won't take too much of your time up, but again, thanks again for doing this. Really appreciate it.
And so, we'll go to the ground. We go to the details.
We hit the ground running.
That's gonna be better for everyone.
Absolutely.
It's the 10-year anniversary of the brand this year. 10-year anniversary of the revival. So that's what makes Czapek a startup, even if it's an old lady, because it's also 180 years of existence of Czapek. So we celebrate the same year, because it's the same year that it's happening, and it's now.
So let's go back in time 180 years. For our audience who don't know about Czapek, tell me the fondation, the foundation, how it was created.
So Czapek is the name of a man, François Czapek, born Franciszek Czapek, born in Bohemia. Today it's Czech Republic. Moved to Poland as a watchmaker, has the first business of watchmaking in Warsaw. And Warsaw at that time, 1829, 1830, 1831, is invaded by the Russians, who were practicing invading Eastern Europe. So, see, history repeats. No political comments. No. We cannot hide the smile that we have on the face.
Cannot hide the old lady.
We know our chicken, as Italian says. So after as they lose against the Russians, all the people involved into this uprising has to run away, and he goes to Geneva because he's a watchmaker, and Geneva is already the capital of watchmaking in Europe. And he meets a guy local called Moreau, creates a company together in 1833, and in 1836, he meets another Polish guy called Antoine Norbert de Patek and introduced him to watchmaking. And in 1839, when actually the first company gets to the end of the contract, because business contracts were lasting 6 months in Geneva. Thank you. That's a tourbillon for you. In a few minutes. Stay online.
He needs
Don't
no
run
two
away.
takes.
And then. At that moment, they create a new company, which will last 6 years, and which will give birth to another company later on. But the company that we're talking about today is the one that was born 6 years later, called Czapek and Company, where these men have parted away. And Czapek, with another Polish guy, with Gruzewski, creates a company. And Gruzewski is a networker that is fighting for the Polish cause. There's a huge diaspora in Europe. And this actually accelerates the development of Czapek and Company in Europe. So he starts selling, to royal heads or crown heads across Europe. They open in Place Vendôme the first watchmaking boutique, to our knowledge. And they open also in Warsaw, in Faubourg Cracovie, which is called, it's on the 411 at that time, and it's a shopping house. So it's like the most emblematic building of the Faubourg Cracovie, which is sort of the Champs-Élysées of Warsaw. So really nice places. Great success. 69, he leaves Geneva. 1870, the Commune in Paris, another bloodbath, another uprising, finishing badly. And then he goes back, and now we have the story, because we got an historian based in Poland willing to get as much as possible about the true story of Czapek.
You have a bit amazing historian.
So now we know what happened. We have not revealed it yet, but I can give a little bit of a...
Give us a teaser. Give us a teaser.
So we know that he passes away in 1878 in Bohemia. Okay, so that's the end of the story for him, and for Czapek at that time. Actually, it's at the end of the Commune that it's the end of the story for Czapek. And 2012, the company is re-registered
Yeah, tell me more about that.
2013, the brand is re-registered and associated with the company. October 2013, I joined the guy who made these registrations, Colarigoul. We agreed that we need a watchmaker, so Sébastien joined us. I had met Sébastien a bit some months before in a watch fair, in a watch event.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's good
Strange
to network.
world, yeah.
And on November 10, 2015, we launched a crowdfunding equity campaign to get as many of you guys, watch lovers, to join us in the adventure or in the venture of recreating Czapek, an incredible watch company that was number one in continental Europe in the 1850s, and that disappeared completely. And so that was really an interesting project because we felt he deserved to be revived. He left a lot of a legacy behind him, and this legacy was very much visible in a museum in Geneva, a famous museum when you love watches. And I'm playing, you see, I'm playing around because the Swiss law is very clear on what names can be said or not, and in what content. So everybody has to work a little bit to find out what it is, and I like that. It's more fun. Why make it easy? We're making watches. You are here to suffer. There's a bit of sacrifice in watchmaking, in watch loving.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
A lot of blood, and so that's the restart. That's why it's 2015, 2025, 10 years.
10 years, félicitations. Huh?
1845, 2025, 180 years.
Yeah, 180 years since the original,
Great alignment of planets. And to celebrate, we decided to do 3 very important pieces. Actually, there was more. I canceled them. And yesterday night, a watch collector, his Instagram got the name of the other company, by the way. It's called Collector. And Khalid is his name, convinced me to do the enamel collection. So maybe it's going to be 4 instead of 3. So the first one is this tourbillon here that you discovered.
Yeah, the Antarctique tourbillon.
Antarctique tourbillon.
Which is incredible, which is in front of us now.
There will be a new rattrapante.
Okay, coming soon,
for Geneva Watch Days.
Really? There you go, exclusive.
And there will be a big surprise on November 10th.
Very exciting.
A one-shot, one watch, only for the anniversary.
That's
180 pieces on various metals, and we will not do it again.
You've got our audience on tenterhooks now, Xavier. You really have. So let's.
You made it right, huh?
Yeah.
To convince me or to make me speak.
Well, it's like this is my new horological friend. This is
game.
the second time in 3 months that we've actually had a chat.
It's part of the game. The interview depends on the interviewer.
Of course.
I mean, the interviewee has to play the game, of course.
Yeah. We all have. It's all a game.
But if there is a good tension,
if there's a good relationship, chemistry,
which the chemistry and the quality of the questions make the quality of the interview.
Like I said, this is the second time that we've actually had an interview in 3 months. So I must be doing something right.
You must.
Yeah. So talk to me about the Antarctique tourbillon.
It's funny because you steal my words there, because I'm exactly saying the same. Because it's so the tourbillon is having a great success. Yesterday we were at 49 pieces ordered.
Because it's based on the Antarctique, which is obviously, was it 2020 you sold I said to probably spoke to you about this last time, 99 pieces, 17 days, all sold out.
Exactly, same idea, except that here we decided, because some people were complaining that there was too many limited editions, and we agree.
Yeah.
It's a pain. It's a pain because somehow you kill a product that you love.
Cool, yeah.
So we decided to do 1 limited edition, and the rest would be made to order, and people can play with it and personalize it, change a little bit the hands.
The personalization is great,
We always integrate that.
Yeah.
Because it's better to be different.
Absolutely.
It's nicer, it's funnier.
It is.
So we want to keep some space. We have the chance of having a highly educated audience.
Yeah.
They know everything about watches.
They know their watches, they know their brands.
And so they have their taste, they have their preferences. Why preventing them of, sitting at the table?
Yeah.
So there is always a seat empty
Yeah, no, of
for
course,
everyone to join.
Of course, it's all a huge community. Everyone has their loves, their passions. But what you've done with the bridge across the dial, that's a work of art. The Glacier Blue, obviously, the Glacier Blue dial declination, you've taken that from the original.
Exactly, from that
Antarctique.
one.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see when you look at them, you can see that the hue or the tone of blue is slightly different.
Yeah.
Because in watchmaking, it's very often that if you make a finish that is slightly different, you're gonna have a complete different effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just of the finish of the metal.
Yeah.
So take sandblasting, for example.
Yeah.
If you have very fine sandblasting, it's going to be darker than a slightly bigger sandblasting,
Absolutely. Yeah.
which will have more reflections. And so you play with these kind of things. Here you have a flanqué dial stamped.
I was going to say it looks like a flanqué. Yeah.
And there you have a guilloche. And on purpose,
incredible.
before we do the guilloche, actually, it's the guys who were seated there, who were looking at the watch, the friends from Metalem, who are doing the guilloche at RVK, their subsidiary for guillochage. We asked them to polish the dial before doing the guilloche. So, of course, it's scratched by the process itself because it's a manual process.
Yeah, of course.
But still, it remains an initial polished dial that will shine in the light. Incredible.
Yeah. I mean,
so that's what we wanted because guilloche is a play on shadows and light.
Yeah.
And so you want as much light to be captured.
And the technique in guillochage that you've done through these dials is phenomenal. I mean, and it was a lost art. You've revived it.
Yeah.
It looks exquisite.
And I had a meeting at the very beginning 10 years ago with a guilloche maker that was, I think, a bit tired to do guillochage. And he said to me, give me a book like that and say, choose a guilloche you want. There are 800 different guilloche designs, patterns.
Right.
It would be pointless to create one. And I looked at him and I said, no. And then I thought, I shouldn't tell him, but we will invent one. And that was the
Anything
birth
is possible for
of
you,
the
especially with
guilloche.
you. Yeah?
And it's just a state of mind, which is to continue to create
And evolve and
all
develop.
the time.
Yeah.
We are creators.
Yeah.
That's what we are as human beings.
Of course.
We want to create. And that's just the way to express this creativity.
And there's 3 dial declinations I see before me, yeah?
Yeah.
The Glacier Blue.
So this, I would say, the number one, the one that everybody looks at is this limited edition, the secret alloy, which is the metal as it is initially.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay, there is no color plating. It's the rough metal, just polished and guilloche.
Oh, polished, okay.
It's the way it is.
And how do you achieve the bridge across the dial?
And the bridge,
That must be some intricate.
Most of the innovation or imagination comes from a problem. Okay?
And how you solve it.
Well, exactly. That's how you solve it. So when you have a problem, you should have a smile. Because a problem means it's a door to creativity, to something new that you have to
said it better myself, yeah, absolutely.
So we wanted the interaction between the métier d'art, the guillochage, and the mechanics. So we started thinking, we should have the minute ring, the minute wheel directly connected. We wanted the direct minutes because it's easier to live with. And then we thought, okay, we do have the mechanism of setting the time.
Yeah, I mean,
where do we put the wheels now?
You answered my next question.
And so, well, Daniel made a bridge that was just like that, going like this.
Yeah.
And that was a bit odd because we had this kind of linearity of 3 big round shapes. Someone it's funny, someone said it's a snowman. And we never saw the snowman.
No,
and I said, yeah, well, in the end he's right. It's right, it's a snowman with googles.
No.
But he was the first one to see it. So there are these 3 round circle or discs together and the beautiful symmetry. And this bridge was killing the symmetry.
It's very symmetrical, yeah.
So what we said is that, okay, let's do the bridge the whole way because there is an advantage to that, which is a bridge that you can hold from 2 sides is much stronger than one that is obviously going to have with shock this kind of vibration. So we said, okay, let's do that. And then we thought, and then now let's explore to make it as slender, as long as possible. And that was the birth of this bridge. And it's a rule inside Czapek, you have to respect the form and function double idea or double elements.
So for you, is form following function, function following form, or is both
together,
equal?
Working together, working together.
Yeah.
It's a ping pong between the constructor and the designer.
Yeah, okay.
It's if you start saying it should be this and after that, you're making beforehand a statement on what you think beauty is, as if you were, I don't know, Leonardo da Vinci. So I'm not, and I'm working, struggling, sweating to create beauty.
Of course, yeah.
With a designer, I'm not a designer.
And it's paid off.
And if you have a prejudgment, it's going to be very difficult. Very difficult.
Yeah, no, of course.
So form and functions are seated at the table. The constructor
both on equal sides,
and the designer, and you work with them until achieving an incredible beauty.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't give up until you're just.
I know you will certainly never give up. Yeah.
We prefer to launch later.
Yeah.
We're a private company, 250 shareholders, and everybody agrees.
Yeah. And you told
don't launch it if it's not ready.
No.
Rework until it's perfect.
And your team is about, last time we spoke a couple of months ago, you said your team was about 30, yeah?
Yeah, 29.
29, yeah. So do you have plans to keep it like that, or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
29 including the interns. So interns are important in Czapek.
Yeah, of course.
But we have 3 interns right now, so it's 26 plus 3. And it's funny because one of them has already bought some shares. So it's actually very cool. You see the commitment of the people. And we prefer to keep it that size because we want to keep the 1,000 number, the 1,000 threshold. This is the number of watches we want to make every year.
Okay.
And the reason is I want to have the time to talk to you, but to talk to collectors who are coming
all we need
around.
Is time.
To have 5 minutes for everyone.
Yeah.
And the day we do 10,000 watches, we cannot do that.
No.
So it's a choice. What kind of company do we want to become? What kind of person do we want to become?
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
And we collect rare people. So we need to align the manufacturing with our ethos, with our values, with our beliefs, with our mission.
Yeah, absolutely.
So everyone is welcome, but it's only 1,000 per year.
I get it. We're running out of time, unfortunately, because I know you're going to do a keynote speech.
Yes,
literally. Has the heart stopped yet?
Yeah.
One final question before we wrap up, because again, unfortunately, time is the enemy. Yeah. Let's say we're at the end of the week and you're still standing up, okay?
I will be standing up.
Yeah. You're not épuisé yet. You're not crevé.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I've closed Palexpo. Okay. We're hosting a horological dinner party. You only have 3 guests, past or present. Tell me who you're inviting and why.
Okay. So first of all, do I have the team with me?
3 guests. That's it.
Okay, that's the team.
Past or present. Remember, past or present.
That's the team.
Alive or not alive? Really,
No.
Really, that's a good.
Yeah, well,
let's
not
put
alive.
one spot for the team then. One spot
I'd love
for
to
the
have François Czapek at the table.
Okay, François Czapek.
Because what we do is really thinking, what would he do today?
Yeah.
But we don't want to do something that is old-fashioned or whatever.
Yeah.
And we think that when we look at the pocket watches he was doing in 1850, they were modern for that time.
Because that's
in
the
inspiration.
Design. Yeah.
And so we try to imagine, okay, if the guy was modern in 1850, we have to be modern in 2025. That's a clear direction. So I'd love to see him and ask him.
Okay, we've got 2 more slots.
And so my wife, with whom I work.
Okay.
And then
that's a good choice.
And then I would take. It's very difficult. But I would
Don't worry, I've not asked you Katie Berger Promenade. I would
probably play a game in the company.
Okay.
Le courte paille.
Okay.
Okay, so a shorter thing, and you got. There would be 27, because my wife also works in the company.
Yeah. You said before.
So 27 of the other ones, and I would say will be one
Yeah.
that is shorter, and that's the one who is going to be invited.
Very interesting.
And that would be one of,
Czapek, your wife, and yeah.
and then one of the team. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because you don't achieve anything alone.
No, of course.
So, of course, the CEO role can be highlighted because it's one of the roles is to build a team, and you build it even more with even more attention when you're convinced that without the team you get nowhere. Mm-hmm. Now, when you get the team and you can look at them working together with a smile and a laugh, and that's telling about the company.
Of course, yeah.
And so when you get there, you just want to say thank you.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, I'm going to say thank you to you. Thank you for your time. Great to see you in the flesh. I look forward to seeing.
Bye, guys.
I look forward to seeing you at Geneva Watch Days. I look forward to doing this all over again.
Yes.
At Watches and Wonders 2026.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, guys.
Done.